you know, with your own shit, you will never fire yourself. And I'm glad that my son went through the job thing and went through the, you know, all the shit that he's went through. And he's 20, but you know, he started working at 17 and you go through your motions. And I'm glad that, you know, a job let him go or didn't hire him or didn't. It shows you that they can do whatever they want to do because you don't own it. And, you know, with watching Nia, you know, doing graphics and websites and making
her cosmetic line.
And her cosmetic, you know, I started Nia B Cosmetics. And for her, and I didn't pressure her. She doesn't want to be a makeup artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't pressure her, but for her to come to me and be like, Mom, what do you think about me starting Nia B Cosmetics? I'm like, what do you think about you starting Nia B Cosmetics? Because you have to work it, not me. It's work. You understand what I'm saying? It's customer service first and foremost. So the attitude got to be on a great level. So it's more so watching them progress and learning and making their money and doing this shit. Like, I'm looking at me, I'm like, God damn. I told Zay, I said, damn. And then she works, and she's mentally prepared for life. And I think the biggest thing for me, Chelsea, is if something happens to me today or tomorrow, that is my biggest thing. Yeah. How would y'all maintain? How would you live? So that to me, you know, with the kids is like an amazing thing, you know, and like I told them, college ain't for everybody. I didn't go to college and I'm quite successful. You know what I'm saying? Don't pressure your kids to do those things. You have to listen to them and understand what it is they want. I knew my son didn't want to go to college. I know Nia wants to go to college, but to each his own.
Yeah.
You know, and I told him, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just be successful. You're successful. Not mine, not your father's, not
Instagram.
You're successful, you know. And be yourself, because once I started to let go of, you know, what somebody may think of me and my brand, and I let that shit go, I knew that God was going to bring everybody who follows me and who supports me for real. So the ones who don't, and that's what I teach them. So I'm proud of them.
Good.
Yes.
Look, now what is the music rotation for you right now? What do you listen?
All right, so look. I'm a little old school with it, you know what I'm saying? I'm my Luther, I'm my Anita Baker, you know what I'm saying? I'm my SWV, I'm back in my day, and then my current, because I do have my teens, but I'm 39. You know, I had my son when I was 18 years old. So I'm still young with them, you know what I'm saying? So my rotation is heavy. Lil Baby is heavy in my rotation. Meg, Coast, you know what I'm saying? Because I do love my rap and shit. That kind of gets me through. I love my hood music. But that's my rotation. So I go back and forth between my old school and my new school, you know. But daily I love, you know, and it's crazy because people be like, how do you listen to those little babies and those little, you have to listen.
Yeah.
You listen to what they say. They just because they're young don't mean they ain't got shit to say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's in my music box, girl. That's my best.
Now, we have our social media and business handles in our platform, but what would your friends say about you that we may not see on social media?
I'm going to tell you, now you guys see it. It's being funny. But Lou, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you, Chelsea, for real, I did not, that's just my everyday, right?
I know.
You know. That's my every fucking day. I've been this way my whole life, right? But what's funny to me is, you see, that's why I say you have to have people around you who really fucks with you, who's not afraid to tell you what it is that you should be doing. You know, you can take your own advice, but you get what I'm saying. I've always been silly. That's just, you know, people, I grew up in Highland Park, so everybody that knows me would be like, your ass always that knows me, you know. But it was one day, you know, and I would, if you asked this question 2 months ago, this is what I would have told you. But I figured this out, right? So, you know, me and my girl was talking and she said, you know what, Vicky? She said, do you know what's missing from your brand? I'm like, what? You know, I'm like, yeah, tell me, you know, because we, you know, we respect each other's opinions and thoughts, you know. And I said, well, what is it? She said, you ain't funny on there. I was like, I ain't funny on there. She was like, they don't know you. They don't know what we know. Like, why don't you give them that? And my husband used to say, you know, I remember getting on social media and doing a talk on Facebook, and I was like, fuck. And I looked at him, and he was like, what? Like, I was that close in.
Yeah.
So my friends would have said that 2 months ago about me, that nobody knew how fucking crazy I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
because you and Vicky B, you don't have that on your platform.
Because I had that stigmatism in my own, girl, your own mind is something, ain't it? So I had that stigmatism in my own mind that if I say this or if I do this, then my fans or my photographer people or my, they're gonna shy. They're the main ones in my inbox. And then I'm watching my numbers grow and my followers grow and my following, becoming really friends on my platform, the ones that constantly watch my stories, because I am that person. I look at analytics, I look at statistics, I look at those ones who were there in the beginning. So if I could have said anything, my friends would have said to me, I had one of my friends say, if you weren't funny, I wouldn't watch all your shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I mean, and I'm not knocking it because you may not be a fucking makeup person.
Yeah.
So, I can't knock that. I can't be mad at you not buying my product if you don't wear product. I'm not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Just support me in, if you see something that needs to be changed, or if you give me that.
Honesty.
You don't have to buy anything to make me feel
support
like
comes in so many different
It comes in so many fucking different ways. You can find people out here on the street that'll buy your product. Mm-hmm. My support for me is way different than that. So that's something that my friends would have they would have said people don't know how funny you are.
Well, now they know. Look, and they can follow you all throughout.
And they challenge with you. If my followers on here, where you at? They challenge as hell. I ain't lying.
Now, if you could give advice to your younger self, maybe 10 years ago, what would that be?
Get out your own way. Mm-hmm. Get out your own mind. I feel like I will be so much further in life, not even just career, life, if I would have stopped myself from stopping my fucking self. I could have had my younger self be more of an adult to tell my family to say, look, don't be afraid to come at me and say these things to me. Don't think you're putting me down by saying, So that's the advice I would have gave myself. Get out of my way.
Now, if you could give advice to other young women or people that want to be in this field, or an entrepreneur in general, what would that be?
Plan that shit out. Plan it out and don't rush it. I'm gonna have to break this because this is very, very near and dear to me. You talking education to me, girl. This speaks to my soul, girl. I should have. If you don't even know why you're doing what you're doing, if you don't have a passion behind it, see, my passion for me is giving. I can remember doing Cardi B's makeup. I've done her 3 times, and I told my husband when I got that call to do her, I said to him, if I'm going to ask her this question, and if she answered honestly how I think she should answer it, she will be all right. And I remember her asking Cardi, I said, why did you never put your music on Love and Hip Hop? And she said, I didn't want to be a joke,
Yeah.
I said, you can see it and say, oh, that's good. Like you sell houses and you good at it. What if I want to be a realtor and I want to come out? Don't want to sell houses like Chelsea.
No.
You look at Chelsea to say that it can be done. That's all you look at. Because your shit is what's going to make your shit pop. Mm-hmm. Nobody can do it like you. You go down, understand who's in the box with you. Understand who's in the box with you, who can help you. When I used to go and I worked at, the White House, or I worked on the set of Glamour magazine, or I worked I will know exactly who that person is and I'm working for. I'm not going to be the only fucking person in the room and I can't say shit. Mm-hmm. Right? So if I'm working for CNN and I'm working on Chris Janstein, which I worked for her for NBC, and I'm doing her makeup, or I'm doing somebody and they talking about what she did last week, why? I don't know. And she's my subject today. Why can't I join in on the conversation? Because I didn't do my research. Because I'm so amped to be able to just do her makeup that I forget about the important shit. Because it's not getting the job, it's the callback.
It's the building the connection.
It's the callback. And let me tell you something. The connections are bigger than anything. Anything. Let me tell you, when I went to the BET Awards, and I took a hairstylist friend with me for the week, and we worked all week and we enjoyed it. But I remember going out to eat with Chris Brown's people, right? His aunt is still in my phone. We follow each other on Facebook and Instagram. We communicate. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you know what? I built a connection. We went out to eat that night. Like, I build that connection where I may not ever need you in 3 weeks. I mean, in 3 years, 5 years. And it's been like 4 years since I worked at BET Awards. But you never know. So I kept that connection because I'm a people person. And I'm going to open my fucking mouth because closed mouths don't get fed. I worked New York Fashion Week because I wrote them and said, I will clean your brushes. I don't care. I'm coming up. Stop being afraid to think you need to start at the top. How are you going to be a student?
Gotta work your way up.
How are you going to be a student? You know, when I listened to Jay-Z and I listened to the podcast and he said, you start a business. You don't need to see my other hand do it. You start a business. All the way here is where you reap the fucking reward. Because in the middle, you're getting smacked all down the middle. And I'm saying smack is because it's the growth of it all. If you don't have a story to tell, you ain't got shit. That's why I tell my husband all the time, let them kids make mistakes from time to time because that's their story. So, you know, I was never starstruck, but I was always a student. You know, I'll go to New York and I'll be on shoots on my own.
You'll never be a student. I hope to be a student until the day that I die. Because
the day that you
I am not evolving.
You understand what I'm saying? And I can remember that shit so vividly, being in LA, and I'm watching all these celebrities, and I'm watching how small the BET, y'all know BET Live, right? When they go out there and they sing before the show. This shit is so teeny, and it's and I'm sitting there, Chelsea, and I'm like, okay, you know, this is a fad. It boosts you. It makes you think it's bigger than what it is. We want it, but what do we really want? And after I sat there and saw it, and I can remember being in the radio room with every fucking celebrity you can think of, right? Yes. And I could remember the people around me. Oh my God, there were Trey Songz. Oh my God, there was. You know what I had to say? Fuck that.
That's a person.
First of all, you in this bitch just like them. So you are something just like his ass is. You're working. To be here. You are working. You are supposed to be here. So he don't get that much clout because, you know, and you know what? Maybe I kind of take it back because I'm not starstruck. You know, it may be that moment like, oh, bitch, I'm going to Beyonce. But it's still to a point where be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to say, I'm like, shit, we in this bitch with them. We somebody. You know, so, you know, that's the advice I would give y'all. Learn who's in the box with you. Work your shit. And you got it.
It is. Well, Vicky, I'm going to definitely get these edited and put on my YouTube so they can come back and reference these amazing gems that you dropped today.
Thank you.
And look, I'm going to try to come back around. I got like 40-something more interviews to do.
Do you? Yeah. Okay, so explain, you know me, I don't play the bullshit. I know this your live. You understand what I'm saying? But explain to us what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because some of my joiners may want to, you know, let them know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the whole purpose of my Women in Business were to highlight the women businesses and just entrepreneurs in general, not even just women in any type of business or any type of platform, for the sole purpose that you said you need to know who's in your backyard. You need to start working sideways as opposed to go forward or who you think is there, because you never know the person beside you. They may be up here.
Absolutely.
In a year or so, or
and look just as regular.
And be just as regular. And it's like you could have had the option and the possibility to know them, but you chose not to because they weren't popping enough. I see things all the time. Like people will have 100 followers on Instagram. And it's like you have no idea the type of clout that they have.
And it ain't even the followers.
And
it's not the fucking followers. And I put this on my social media so much. If you don't understand that you so worried about a follower and a like, you're lost. I had a student tell me I take my
engagement.
It's engagement. And you know, my student tell me I take my work off Instagram when I don't get enough likes. But how the fuck are you gonna get booked? Because see, I scroll too and I don't like stuff. And it's not because I don't like it, I'm just scrolling. So if you know, I can post let me tell you something about social media really fast. I can post myself, a selfie, boom, 400-500 likes, right? I can post my work, 50 likes, 100 likes, but guess what? I got 7 to 8 motherfucking bookings. So do I care about your
That's $7,000. And that's what I said. I made that same. If one person sees it, like I put up an example. I had like a flyer for my business. It was like 75 people. I said, for prime example, if I have 75 clients from this one, just from the people that see it, that's times $3,000 to $4,000.
Think. and you market off those fucking 75 people. And I think that is the problem with a lot of up and coming anything. Realtors,
They want to be a peer, but up here, it's not Instagram.
My thing is this: what the fuck make me want to run to you? But I've been working with this person for years, and they good. What is it about you?
Yeah,
you have to constantly work in your lane. Mm-hmm. If you don't work in your lane, you can give it up because you're gonna be chasing something that ain't even yours.
Absolutely. And look, someone said, very interesting. What is it about? Well, it's the Women in Business. And it'll go on all my platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Lou the Realtor RVA. You can go back and check out all these interviews. They were supposed to be in person, but you know, with COVID, even still, I feel like this is more convenient because you can do this from people. Yeah, we can do this from
anywhere in the world, and you can connect with people. And that's what another thing we said about quarantine. If your mind ain't spinning and twirling, I don't give a fuck if you bake cupcakes. You better bake the fuck out of them cupcakes. You better learn how to put them bitches on stilts. You better learn how to do that shit.
You better learn,
because he's giving you this time with family and regrouping yourself. And if you didn't get that out of it, and all you worried about was how I'm gonna pay my bills and how many shit, the fuck we worry about that on the regular.
Every day.
The fuck you gonna worry about that shit now unless you're a millionaire? You understand what I'm saying? And like I used to tell my husband, at first I used to chase the fact that, oh, I'm gonna get the money. And my mentor told me years ago, she said, I'm gonna tell you now, if you're doing it for the money, get out of it, because you're gonna fail.
Time to go.
If you don't love it. So, you know.